Hello, and welcome to the second part of the Legend of Zelda Marathon, the series where I will go through and make a video on every home console release of The Legend of Zelda. In this episode, I will be covering The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Zelda 2 has always kind of been the black sheep of the Zelda series. It has a strong focus on combat, there are level ups and spells, it's all kind of strange for a Zelda game. I think this is mainly just a result of the developers not really being sure where they want to go with the series. I think they saw that Zelda 1 had some stuff in common with RPGs, and they thought they'd expand on those similarities. But, as most of us know, the Zelda series eventually started shifting away from RPGs and moved toward a genre of its own. So it's interesting to see a unique take on the Zelda formula. Unfortunately, interesting does not equal good, so the quality of Zelda 2 is lacking. I don't mean in terms of a lack of polish or an ugly art direction, I mean in terms of game design. The game suffers from some extremely outdated and frustrating mechanics, as well as the lack of certain mechanics that really detract from the experience. One of those issues involves lives. Zelda 2 added a life mechanic, similar to platformers or shoot-'em-ups. This was a really bad decision for a game about exploring, because when you lose all 3 of your lives, it sends you all the way back to the beginning of the game map. I understand that they also did this in Zelda 1, but that game had a much smaller map and saved when you got to a dungeon. In Zelda 2, the game is extremely difficult, the map is massive, and the dungeons don't save your location. Not to mention the annoying random encounters on the overworld map. Yeah, you heard that right. Zelda 2 has a world map. That's very different from other Zelda games, which have an interconnected map. This may seem like an interesting change, but like many other things in this game, it was executed horribly. Contrasted with Zelda 1's world, the map is ugly and unappealing to explore. It still has some good music, but you won't hear it for long before one of the annoying enemy encounters occurs. The enemy encounters can happen anywhere in the game world, and none of them are fun. Either it's an empty room, there's these annoying sticks that you have to wait a long time to get past, or it's an easy fight against these enemies that are easier to just walk through and take the damage than fight. This is because the combat in Zelda 2 is all over the place. Boss fights are pretty cool, and some enemies offer a fun challenge, but others just feel cheap. Like these guys that throw boomerangs at you. There isn't nearly enough time to block all of the boomerangs coming at you. At least the game has a spell and level up mechanic, which make combat a little more fair and a little more fun, but neither are all that great. Spells are received from wizards in the village, and they offer some kind of upgrade, like one that allows you to jump higher or one that ups your defense. These spells can't be used too frequently though, because eventually you'll run out of magic, which can only be restored by fighting enemies. They're probably the most unique and fun part about combat and the game in general. The level up system is another story. The first few upgrades are easy to get, and you really feel the upgrade, whether you choose to upgrade your attack, health, or magic. Unfortunately, after the 10th or so upgrade, it takes way longer to get the points required to upgrade, and when you do finally get it, it doesn't really affect you that much. It's really hard to tell the difference in any of the categories. So, overall, I would say that Zelda 2 is an unplayable mess. I know that may sound like a big claim, but if you play it for yourself, I bet you'll agree. It's pretty fun for the first hour or so, but after that it becomes way too frustrating to be interesting. So, needless to say, I don't recommend Zelda 2. If you want to play an NES Zelda game, just play Zelda 1 instead. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe for the next Zelda Marathon video, A Link to the Past. Also make sure to leave a like, and goodbye.